Are you guys in here? You have my name spelled wrong here too.
Let me change it, Vicky. I can do it. We'll be on camera soon.
Okay. I'll take it off camera for now.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tim from One Stop Warehouse, and I'm here to show you some of the preparations that One Stop Warehouse is taking to make you safe when you visit us. Keep an eye out when you visit the building for signs that are around the place to remind you to keep safe, to practice social distancing, and to stay 6 feet away at all times if you possibly can. Also, our staff will be wearing masks. Keep you safe. When you come into the front office, make sure you pay attention to the signage that's posted. Also, if you need to sign in, make sure you bring your own pen. It's going to be a lot safer than picking up the pen from the front desk. Also, just try and stay behind the red line, and again, follow all the signage as you've been told. If you need help, just ask someone from a distance.
What we have here is the heart of the operation to keep you safe. All you do is fill the clipboard in with the packing slip number on the left side and the vehicle registration on the right. One of our warehouse operators will photograph your details and then deliver your goods to your vehicle. It's that easy.
As you can see, we've got plenty of stock in the warehouse. It's easy to pick up your goods, and we're open for business. So, we'll see you at One Stop Warehouse safe.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the fourth of our survival and stimulus webinars from One Stop Warehouse. It's great to have you all here in the room with us, and we're going to be exploring a few things today. Looking forward to it. Firstly, I'd like to thank our partners. These are all the people who've helped us put on these webinars, especially our platinum partners, Huawei, FEMA, Sungrow and Longi Solar. And we'll be hearing more from Longi Solar today from Betty Lee, who is going to be giving us a presentation. We're also going to be hearing from our gold partner, Alvazing, who represents Green Deal, and Saj with Alan Lee speaking. You can expect to hear from Isaac Liu, who is a guest speaker from Discover Energy. And Isaac's going to be sharing with us some information about cybersecurity. Because I don't know whether it's because everyone's at home, there's been a bit of a raise in that. So we're going to be giving you some education on how to protect your business in that area. So hopefully Isaac will be giving us some really good info on that. And we also have Vicky Finch, our guest speaker today, who is an author and direct sales expert. She's written a book called Evict the Bully from Your Head, or Evict the Bully in Your Head. And she also wrote 12 books in 12 months. She set herself a personal challenge to do that. And that's what she did. We also have Chad Hardy from Snowater, who is speaking about sales today. So he's in the solar industry, so it'll be interesting to hear his perspective on how to generate sales. So there are our speakers. One of the things that we've been doing with this webinar series is raising money, and raising money for the hospitals around Australia. So we'd just really like to thank all our partners, all our sponsor partners who've been helping us in that space. They've been, we've raised over $5,000 to support and help hospitals who are obviously facing this COVID crisis at the raw end of the stick. So yeah, we'd really like to thank our sponsors for their support in that space. Enough of me. If perhaps, Vicky, you'd like to just jump in and say hello. I'm just going to introduce you to some of our speakers and we'll get to know them a little bit. So, Vicky, are you available?
I am here. I think I'm online. I got my camera on. I got my audio on. Am I good?
Very good. Hi,
everybody.
Vicky.
How are you?
Good. Welcome. Now you're based in California. So what's it like over there at the moment?
Well, the weather is actually gorgeous. And if you believe some of the media stuff, the beaches are packed. But, you know, I have friends that are there. They're not so packed. I think they're trying to scare us a little, but the weather here is
Okay.
absolutely gorgeous.
Fantastic. And Vicky, what are you going to be sharing with us today? What's the kind of overarching topic you're going to be sharing?
Well, we're going to talk about leveraging the power of live streaming and how we can build relationships and connect with our customers from a distance, so people still feel like they're growing a business and that they're building a brand while they're still practicing social distancing and respecting all of the requirements that are in effect.
Fantastic. Well, we actually met doing live streaming, so that's basically how we made a connection. So, looking forward to hearing your talk. Alan from Sage, are you available to say hello? Thanks, Vicky.
Hi, team. How are you? Hello, everyone.
Good, good. Welcome. Now, Alan, where are you based? I didn't actually find that out before.
Yeah, I'm based in Melbourne, actually. Today, Melbourne is really cold. It's only about 8 degrees. How about your weather over there?
Yeah, it was pretty chilly this morning. It seems to have fined up now, but it was definitely a bit fresher than we're used to. So it's nice to see the turn in season. So thank you, Alan. And we look forward to hearing your presentation about SARS.
Thank you.
Alva, do you want to say hello? You're from Green Deal?
Yeah, hi, how are you, everybody? My name is Alva.
Good, thanks. Now, Alva, you're in Brisbane, aren't you? So we're certainly reaching across the country today, which is fantastic. Now, Alva, briefly, just if you had to make one sentence, what does Green Deal do?
So our Green Deal is, so our basic function is doing the STC trading platform, but now we just more than that. So we will talk about sometimes about today, I'm going to share about the STC 2020 market focus. And the second one, we're going to introduce new things, which is the DER registry form. So we will talk about DER, how can we use the Green Deal to do about that. And second, we will still emphasize the importance of doing solar panel validation.
Fantastic. Thanks, Alva.
Thank you.
Looking forward to hearing about that and looking forward to learning a little bit more about Green Deal. You'll be educating me as well. So really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you so much, team. Yeah.
Chad, do you want to say a quick hello?
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing?
Good, good. Now, you're another Queenslander, so welcome. Chad, so what are you going to be telling us about today?
Well, we're going to be touching base on the offline side of customer interactions and really developing the customer relationship, in this current environment.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to hearing you expand on that. And yeah, and you're obviously you're based within the solar industry, so you've got a little bit more insight as to what it's like to sell within that space, don't you?
Absolutely. So we do a lot of direct client engagement, working with our installers on small scale and large scale projects, and also working with large scale suppliers like One Stop Warehouse.
Fantastic. Isaac, are you available to say good day?
Hello, everybody. This is Isaac Liu
Hi,
from
Isaac.
Discover Energy.
Fantastic. And you're going to be sharing us some information on how to protect our businesses in cyberspace, in cybersecurity. Is that that's what we expect to hear?
Yes, I will specifically talk about how can you hardening your email server, avoid those kind of scams around all of us, actually.
Well, that's good because obviously no one wants to get ripped off. So it's always better to have a bit of education in that area. So thank you for that. And looking forward to hearing from you. And our last person who's going to be speaking to us is Albert, who's an account manager from One Stop Warehouse, and he'll be closing out today. So Albert, do you want to say a quick hello? And you're not there.
No, I don't think he's connected, Albert.
That's okay.
Oh, he is. He
Hi,
is.
Tim.
That's all right. Hi, Albert. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
That's right. And you're out in the solar fields, which is fantastic.
Exactly. Having a look at one of our large clients' installations. It's looking pretty good. The weather's sun is shining, so that's good. But hello to everyone that's tuned in. I'm looking forward to hearing what everyone's got to say. It's been a really fantastic series. So thanks to our sponsors as well, again, who've helped us to get this all up and running. And I'll speak to you all a little bit later on. But thanks, and back to you, Tim.
Fantastic. Now, our last person we're going to meet is Betty Long, who will be then moving into her presentation. Sorry, Betty Lee from Longy. So welcome, Betty.
Hi, Tim.
You just got to switch your camera on.
Yeah, it's forbidden by the host.
Okay. So perhaps, Dee, have you switched Betty's camera off? Done. Beautiful.
Hey, what do you do, Didi?
Welcome, welcome.
Sorry.
So, Betty, what can we expect? You're obviously going to be talking to us about Longy product today. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. And thank you for Longy for being a platinum partner. I really appreciate the support that your company has been giving this series. So appreciate that.
It's our pleasure, Tim.
Well, on that note, I might pass the baton to you and ask if you would like to share your screen and start with your presentation.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. Today, my topic is Longy product history and the new product selling point. I'm Betty in Longy Australia sales team. In 2016, Longy released the HIMO 1 perk technology. And 1 year later, it's released the HIMO 2, the bifacial perk technology. And in 2018, Longy released the HIMO 3. So the HIMO meaning is high mono. The monofacial and bifacial perk with half-cut technology increase power and the reliability of the modules. In 2019, Longy released HIMO 4, introduced the M6 wafer, which is largely increased the power of the module. And 2 days ago, we launched the new product, HIMO 4 New, on the webinar, also in the CEC night. So the new M6 mono perk wafer is developed by the Longy, creates the high density yield for the same area as previous wafer configurations. Voila. The HIMO 4 New Resi range up to the 370 and the commercial up to the 450. It's all with the 12 years warranty. The 370 is available now. And I think our customer and the installers, you can reach your stock by the one-stop warehouse. Let's straightforward to the selling point. HIMO 4 New, now it's the 370 watt, 12 years warranty. It's all available here. It is the most important Resi product of this year. There's a couple of reasons. One is the high cell efficiency with the 9BB, 20.3 efficiency. It's probably the most higher in all of our competitors. And the second is with the low degradation. The first year is 2%, and the later 84.95 at the year 25, which shows the Longy good quality. Also, this product is with standard design, 1200 millimeter leads with EVO2 connectors. So that's the first 370 module using the 60 cell in half cut configuration. It's all available on the market. The milestone for the first time, this M6 half cut wafer technology is available in the Resi and the CNI installer and distributors in Australia. It is also perfect for the light commercial jobs. So here's the commercial one. Also 12 years warranty, 440 watt available in May. The selling point is always below. It can up to 450 watts with the 20.7 efficiency. The innovative design and exceptional of this technology performance of the HIMO for new will increase the site yield for the customers, while at the same time, they lower the BOSS cost for the installers. Another selling point I would like to talk about is the multi-bus bar product, the HIMO for new 370 and the 440 9BB. So the difference in between the 6BB and the HIMO for new 9BB is the number of the bus bar become more than the spacing is narrower, which shorten the current transmission distance of the thin grid. As you can see as the below pictures, it reduced the loss and improves the output. So generally speaking, a cell with more than 6 main bus bar is called the multi-bus bar, which is including 7, 8, 9, or 10, etc. So after we testing and the researching, we found that the 9BB has the most obvious power gain from the module. We got lots of congratulations from our customers and the installer, also from One Stop. Longi Panel was awarded top PV brand by the EU PD in Australia last week. Also, we got another 2 countries, which is Spain and the Netherlands. That is the very good selling point, which we will put on our website later. This one is we have been talking about in 2019, and before that 2 years ago, we was awarded as outdoor power generation by the TUV Highland All Quality Medals with the low irradiate performance and the power temperature co-effective. Here, another selling point. So we compare 330 and the 370 watt. The construction component saving on a typical 6.6 watt installer. Let's say the 330, you need 20 pieces. So for the 370, you only need 18 pieces. The cost saving is approximately $100 to $140 per install. And the time saving, it all depends by the treaty or the installer, how quick you do. We guess it's about 1 hour for the installation. So it's 1 hour's time saving. So let's compare 60 cell and the 66 cell. Longi product is 60 cell, and one of our competitor, they use 66 cell. So is that will be too wide or too long for install? Or is it some small roofs friendly, which cannot fit the 2 rows of the 66 cell panels? I don't want any trouble, so I hide the competitor's name. I put is company B. So the Longi 370 and the other competitors, the wafer difference is Longi M6 and the competitors G1. It's approximately Longi panel is 85 millimeters shorter. So answer the question, yes. Longi panel is very friendly for the small roofs. Here I used a little crying frog. Actually, it was used by One Stop's one of my favorite girl, Iris. She used it as the WeChat profile. So what happened recently? Oil price crashed and your insurance policy changed. Most of the customer get less motivated. They don't want to spend money, save the money in their bank just in case anything. What's gonna be the next? So Longi graded as only AAA graded module supplied in the Q1 2020 by the PV module technology bankability released. Also, we were lucky enough, we got the good news 2 days ago. We also rewarded as AAA for the Q2. Actually, more than 70% of the module suppliers claim to be the tier 1 bankable fell in the particular brand of the PV module technology rating. It's only for the company with strong manufacturer, in particular with the own brand module shipments, and the financial operates are scored A grade. Also, quality is another metric remains extremely challenging for us. So the Longi product roadmap, the Resi will stick up to the 370, and the commercial one, it will go steady higher up to the 455. Also, as we talk about the 9BB new technology, the module efficiency is 0.5% increase yearly. Another selling point. So one-stop sales and some of the installer, they've been asking, Betty, can you just give me something I can sell to my customer, which is better of Longi compared with other competitors? I hide their other competitors' name. Longi is the one in red. I don't want any trouble, so other competitors come to me. The left side is power. The right side is efficiency. So compare with others' product, Longi has higher efficiency in the same power grade. CSR, we care about little things, and you should too. So Longi use the plastic wrapping we use is the recycle one, so you can put it into the yellow bin. And also we use the 100 the renewable production. As our president, Mr. Lee, when he do the speech globally, our idea is solar on solar, which we use the solar to generate electricity, and we use that electricity to produce the solar panels. Here is our Longi Australia team. Longi Australia was opened a Sydney-based office last year, and the team has recently grown, as said by Mr. Stephen Zhang. He's our manager director. You can see on the organization, the yellow two-part team is our utility sales team, and I am under the orange team, which led by Miss Dan Zhou, also with my two team members, Pablo in the commercial one, and Catherine is our sales support. So as Stephen said, we welcome all the feedback from our customer, and we will continue to support you locally in Australia. So if anything you need from us, inquiry the product, feel free to contact me or Zen. But if you have anything complain, just go to the Steven and he will come to me. It's joking, please don't. So Longi Australia team, we're here to help you survive and thrill. As we talk about, we have Sydney local office. We also have the two dedicated technical engineer here. I think one of them is online today, Mr. Richard. So if any of your tricky technology and product questions, feel free to ask him. I will be more focusing on the commercial side. Going forward, we will have the ongoing training for our distributor sales team and the installer. So product engineer and myself, we will give the regular routine trainings. On the right side, we have sales and marketing team. We support all of your inquiry and the co-marketing activities. As I just talked with Mr. Tim and Didi before, we would like to give big support for one-stop warehouse on the co-marketing activities, roadshows, and brandings, like little gift bags and coupons to our installer and the end users. My email and the phones are all available, and the phone is 24/7. Email address will be in the end of this presentation. And we also have the 4 Australian local warehouse. As you can see, we have the Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth. So customer and installer, you're welcome to register your project laid with our authorized distributors. One of that, our biggest one is One Stop Warehouse, and we will provide the support and the best quotes to you to win your project. Here, actually, I added something because my majority is logistic and supply chain. I would like to share with you that from when you place the order to Longi China, how long will it take to receive the product? So it's from the beginning, customer place the order, and our system will process the order until the payment received. During the payment paid, we will arrange the shipment booking, and then the product will be on sea, but it depends which port we use. It's averagely 23 days. Sydney, Melbourne probably be quicker, and Adelaide, Fremantle obviously is a little bit longer. For the FCL full containers, like 20 or 40 foot, it took 2 to 3 days availability at the yard. The LCL, if you use the LCL, it probably take 5 to 7 days for the customs clearance and the delivery. So all of that, which will takes averagely 49 days from your PO placed to arrival the warehouse. So one of the idea we set up the Longi warehouse here is first you have the quick access to the product, also for the marketing, and some of our competitors, they also have the local stock. And we would like to have the quick response to the new product launch. Like this time we have 370 ready in our warehouse. So you all welcome to purchase it locally. So meanwhile, we already have our webinar. So it's the same time doing the new product launch. Also, we consider the product cost and cash flow, because some of the small distributors, probably they don't have that enough cash flow to order from the product from China to here. So the local stock is also one of the benefits for you. As I said, we have 4 warehouses already, Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth. It will be up to our manager's decision, and also depends by the marketing, whether we will open another location one. So all these local warehouse, the benefits will be quick response, and we give very attractive Australian warehouse price. We basically just build at cost what happened to us in the warehouse. And the trend is we think Longi sales is expanding. Maybe we will double last year's sales revenue in the distribution channel, hopefully. And we still prefer the CRF orders, because once the product leave the factory, that counts as my sales revenue. Otherwise, you're also welcome to buy from our local stock. Our main warehouse will be Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne. So if you have anything you would like to purchase from our warehouse, you're welcome to send the forecast, and we will prepare the stock. So the Longi Australia team, we provided unique value adding. Besides the pricing and global branding, it's also a good brand you can investment, because Longi has a very supportive team. Also, we have dedicated the local team, as I just showed in the organization chart. So here is one-stop warehouse contact office and email address. I think also maybe some of the one-stop sales is online. Our 370 product is available now. And here is my email address. If anything, feel free to drop me an email, or you can contact the info@longi-solar.com.au. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Betty, for that. It's great to see Longi really building its relationship here in Australia and really developing how it meets the needs of its customers here in Australia. So really appreciate you sharing that information. Vicky Fitch is an author, direct sales marketer, and live streamer. She's a fascinating lady, and she's going to be sharing how to connect using live stream, which is what we're doing now. We're actually live streaming on Facebook as we speak, as well as in this webinar space on Zoom. So it's a brave new world. How do we reach out and connect with our customers? How do we tell our stories? And in this enclosed time when we're all at home. So Vicky's going to help us reach out and speak to our customers more effectively. So welcome, Vicky.
Hey, Tim, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited about that. This is an exciting time. There's a lot of things going on, and there's, exciting things happening here in the United States, over there in Australia, and I'm excited to participate.
And Dee, I'm going to ask if you unlock my screen from the thing before Vicky.
Oh, there I am.
Lovely.
In all that glory. Oh my goodness. Thank you
Welcome.
so much. Well, again, I say thank you because now I get to see myself in all this, the glory right here up front. So I'm excited to share with you guys today a presentation designed to help you guys understand how to, socially distance ourselves, but still connect with an audience, because that's where we're all at, right? Is that we've got to practice social distancing, but we also want to make sure that we are creating connection with our customers. We call them our tribe. So we'll talk about that here a bit. But customer connection from a distance, we're going to talk about leveraging the power of live. And there's a lot of things going on here, right? But I wanted to start off, since I am talking to the solar community, to let you know this is my house and I love solar. And I know some of you guys are struggling with trying to figure out what your new normal is. And we'll talk about that in a second, and how you can, turn this difficulty and this challenge into something better for your families and for the community. But I love solar. My first thing is honestly because it saves me a ton of money. It cost me $500 to $750 a month during the summer until I got solar. And now I have a credit balance with our power company. So keep that in mind as you're talking to people that want solar but are a little nervous about getting it. Okay, so Tim shared with you guys a few minutes ago that I did something crazy. I wrote 12 books in 12 months. And I'm going to be talking about 3 of them here today. Direct Selling 101, because it applies to the content. Evict the Bully in Your Head, which is kind of a primary one we're going to talk about, and The Entrepreneur's Guide to Using Social Media and Live Video to Rock That Stream. Because if you can't be in front of your customers, directly in front of them, we have to connect with them another way. And we're going to connect with them being, with live video, using Zoom calls, using Facebook Messenger. There's lots of different options, but your customers want to see you. Talking on the phone is great, but people are they're missing connection. They're missing customer connection. They're missing physical connection. So they need to see your face, right? And so here I wanted to just kind of lighten the mood a little, because I know that there's a lot of things going on in life. So this right here, I'm going to take you on a little trip through what I call Fitchapelago. I created this map to go with the 12 books in 12 months, and wanted to make sure that you guys, and I don't know if I can move myself or if I have to on here, but in the top right-hand corner over here, there's a thing called the Ocean of Overwhelm. Some people, your customers, some of your actual, maybe servicemen or workers, people that are participating in the industry, they might feel a little overwhelmed, whether it's because of work or because of home. There's a lot of that going around. So we have to be cognizant when we represent a product or service of how to connect with people that are feeling overwhelmed. Down here in the right-hand corner is the depths of discouragement. Some people are feeling that, they're kind of stuck there. But what I'm hoping to do is help all of you guys come right here to that middle island, and it's called Success Island. And at the top over here is what we call Rock That Dream Ridge. And that's where I'm trying to help you guys with your live streaming and your live meetings and connections to find ways to really step up, stand out, and make sure that your customers or your potential customers notice who you are. So as soon as they are ready to go ahead, they're going to make sure to choose you. All right, so I'm sure all of you, like me, are just a wee bit tired of the coronavirus, right? We see it on the news. We hear about it every Facebook feed, every social media feed. Pretty much everywhere we turn, we hear about coronavirus. And so we want to lighten that mood a little bit. We want to start changing the conversation. We want to change the narrative so we start to get people talking about other things. Because I have a big news flash for you guys, all right? The real syndrome infecting people isn't coronavirus. I know that's going to be a shock to some of you, but it's not coronavirus. It's fear. People are afraid, and some of them are afraid for a good reason, right? And some of us are afraid for a good reason. We're afraid of the coronavirus. I mean, let's face it, it's a little scary. It's a little tricky. It's deadly. And so we have to be careful, and we have to be brave, and we have to work through things. But people are also afraid of their finances. Some people are finding this opportunity to, find a new normal for them. Might be making masks or doing things that actually are contributing to what's happening in the economy. This is a global pandemic. I don't think any of us have really lived through a global pandemic that affected everybody and everything to this extent, where we're on quarantine orders, and where people are starting to feel a little concerned in multiple areas, where they're afraid of rejection. Like, for instance, if they want to get solar put on their house, their neighbors might say, why are you putting solar? This is not the time to be doing that. And the sales representatives might be feeling concerned that that people are going to reject their advances to say, hey, this is something you should look at. People don't want to feel judged. So I want to help you guys work through fear, find your new normal. I want you to recognize that there's fear on everybody's part about whether or not they're making mistakes, and people get scared during any kind of crisis that they might get scammed. So your job is to get past those fears and to try and help them connect with you. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second with your live video. So what is the new normal? Now, we used to do business like this, right? In person, we'd connect with people, we'd hug them, we'd visit with them. But now we have to do business like this, what we're doing now, where we're on screen and we're connecting and we're talking, but we're not able to really physically be in the same room. And that new normal means that we have to service clients in a different way. We need to service them in person instead of, that's our new normal. We have to service them, on live video instead of in person. So this is just showing some things where we've helped clients to come and do one-on-one consultation. So you want to think about your business and brand. How can you extend that reach out? How can you service people, maybe existing customers, by asking them how you service them? If I don't know, depending on your area, I know some areas here in the U.S., for instance, solar cleaning, that's considered an essential service. So they might be able to do that now, or you might be able to start securing things for the future. You also might be able to ask for referrals. Now, we're going to talk about some of the ways to do that. And again, it starts with your live video and how we're building a reputation and how we start to make people feel comfortable with who we are and what we're doing. So the conversation today is really leveraging the power of live streaming. And this is the favorite part for most of you, right? And converting your contacts to cash. Because we all need to make a living. We all need to survive. And let's face it, solar is a green and clean way for people to live. Like I said, for me, it saved me a tremendous amount of money. Like I said, at the end of the year, I end up having a credit balance with our provider because we produce more. That house I showed you in the beginning is a southern facing roof. And we produce more electricity than we actually use. So when you can start to find ways to show people how you're trying to help their finances and not just, use some of their finances, you can start to build a relationship. So as we go through in here, and I would love to know, who of you live stream. Now I can't see all of you, but I'd still love for you to put a 1 in the chat box of wherever you are and tell us who's live streaming, because I know we're actually on Facebook Live and we're in some other platforms. So who is live streaming? Put a 1 in the chat box, right? Raise your hand for me. And who's afraid, right? Are you afraid to live stream? Put a 2. You can put a 2 in the chat box if you know that you're a little nervous, that, you want to do it, but you're not sure. Am I going to do it right? Am I, do I have to be perfect? What about the background? What about my hair? What about this? What about that? We want to make sure that we are not putting out a bad impression. So the live streaming community is something that's really important. And when we ask ourselves, why do you live stream? I mean, is it for us or is it for other people? Is it for, are we actually trying to build a business or a brand? And that's my suggestion to you. Anybody can hit that share, that live button and just talk about nothing. But when you come to bring value to people, people will show up. People will show up and they will tell other people about it. So what is the point of your live stream? Your point is to develop the know, like, and trust factor. When you develop the know, like, and trust factor, people start to recognize you as someone that does care about them, does care about their finances, does want to offer them the best solutions, not just somebody that's coming by to make a sale or to make some money, and let's face it, there are other generations of people, whether, let's say, because and here in the United States, I don't know about the demographic in Australia, but here in the United States, it's usually the Gen Xers and the baby boomers that are purchasing solar. The millennials want to purchase solar, but they aren't typically in the position to purchase it. And so when you're looking at the older generations or people, that are in their 40s and, up to their 80s, those are the people that are looking here to purchase solar and to provide a better economy and better environment. And so though sometimes it's their kids and grandkids that are looking and saying, wait, who's trying to take advantage of my parents, right? So the know, like, and trust factor will help you. It will also help their family members to get to know who you are. So delivering that value is important. Now, one of the things that you want to know, for instance, I'm sitting here talking to you about live streaming, and I just talked to you about the know, like, and trust factor. So this is a question that I always say to people, and this is something you want to identify for yourself. Here's my credentials, right? First of all, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I bought my first house at 19. I started my first company at 20. I've built and sold 4 businesses. I've been in the direct sales industry for 20 years. Top 10 internationally with sales and recruiting. I'm an author, speaker, international business consultant, and I wrote 12 books in 12 months. So some of you are probably like me, and you're probably going, so what? Like, what does that mean? How does that apply to me? What difference does that make to me? So I have to build that know, like, and trust factor, right? So I don't know, and this, maybe I'm dating myself here, but if any of you know who Janet Jackson is, there was a song in the 80s when she said, what have you done for me lately? So I kind of bring that in here and says, what have you done with your live streams? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So it gives you a little perspective of what we're talking about, that we're not talking about $5 sales. We're talking about generating a serious income because you're building a business and a brand. And it doesn't matter what part of the industry you're in. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It matters that you have an opportunity. And if people start to become familiar with you, whatever business you're in, whatever your expertise is, that people will look to you as that expert and they'll follow your directions. So what can I tell you about my live streaming? When live streaming started about 4 or 5 years ago, I was on the platform immediately, an early adopter. After the first 30 or 60 days where we're getting our feet wet and figuring it out, I made $50,000 in 5 months. That's pretty good. That's an average about $10,000 a month. Now, most people right now would be really thrilled with an extra $10,000 a month. If you're a big company, that might be an individual sale or a half a sale for you. But it's all relative to what you're offering the community, right? And so how did I do it? Right there. Consistent effort. We're going to talk about this daily live streams, providing value, asking people to connect, following up, asking great questions, and asking for their business. Okay. So what happened next? Then the next quarter, I did $40,000 in 4 weeks, right? And that's an average of $10,000 a week. So now I've changed from $10,000 a month, and I've now upped my game to $10,000 a week. Doing what? The exact same things. Being consistent, doing daily live streams. So as we start to go through here, if you have a pen and paper in hand, start jotting down some notes. What is it that I can do? What kind of value do I have in my industry? Am I an expert at installation? Am I an expert salesperson? Am I expert at identifying what's the best equipment to go where? What is your expertise? Do you know how to clean solar panels? Do you know how to extend those services into packages that carry over into other things that will really relate to customers right now? Because again, each country and each province, each state, each county, everywhere in the world does things just a little bit different. But all this stuff can be easily tweaked and modified to make sure it works for you. Okay, and so what I did after that, I did over $100,000 in the first quarter of the following year. So you can see it's not a one-hit wonder. It's something that continued to work time after time because I did what? I stayed consistent. So does live streaming work? The answer is a resounding yes. It absolutely, positively works. And so what are you going to do? How are you going to use it to help to build your business and your brand? First, we have to face our fears, right? Facing your fears means you don't worry about how many followers you have. Don't worry about how many people show up. Don't worry about how many people are watching your live stream. If it says 0 at the top, it doesn't matter because nobody may be watching it when you're delivering the message the second, but people will watch the replay. And you're practicing. Just like in any sport, in any business, anything you do, you've got to practice. So when you can start doing your live streams, when you can start bringing value, you can start giving people something to look forward to. And your area of expertise doesn't have to stay right with your business and what you can make a profit from. It can extend a little outwards. People want to know who you are. They want to know what you do and how they can, how you're relatable. There's a lot of really great stuff there. Okay, so don't worry about if people like you either, because everybody won't like you, but it's not personal. They just might not like your style, but that's okay too, because you will find your tribe. And that's the beauty. When you hit that go live button, you're instantly live worldwide. You know, that's how Tim and I met. We met through live streaming. So you're instantly developing relationships, not just in your own area, but in other areas. And even if your company is not international, it doesn't mean you can't make connections internationally that then have friends and neighbors in those areas of the other countries that you're working around. Or maybe it's a great opportunity for you to travel and extend or expand your company. So how do I start? This is one of the things. So first of all, I put something together for you guys. So if you take a screenshot of this or you jot it down, Vicky Fitch, VICKIFITCH.com/one-stop, you'll have access to, number one, a free course that I've done. You'll also have access to some of the software I use with some free trials and some discounts from the vendors that I use. And you'll use on the free course, you're going to use the code one-stop. These are a couple of the pieces of equipment I use from Archon Mounts. They are here in the States, but I know a lot of my Australian friends use them as well, and I do know they ship over to Australia. But I also have some stuff that's over on Amazon as well, and those links are also on that page. Again, that's VickyFitch.com/one-stop. So I know that the real question all of you want to know is, how do I convert, right? Anybody can go live, anybody can deliver some value, but very few people actually can convert. And that's one of the exceptional things. I've been all around the world delivering value on how to leverage the power of live streaming, you know, keynoted at social media conferences, because that is a skill that everybody wants to learn. So let's start with giving you guys a few tips on how to do it. There's 7 steps that I do to convert, and I'm going to break some of them down and make sure that we've got a little bit of time, because I know there's a Q&A portion at the end. I want to make sure that I have time for answering those questions. But number 1, we talked about already, is be consistent. If you can only do it once a week, then just be consistent doing it once a week. If you can do it every day, be consistent doing it every day. You want people to get to know you and to recognize that you're going to go on. And when you go on, there's going to be value there. I know I used to have friends that would say, I've got it in my Aussie friends. I've got it in my diary. We say calendar or planner here, but I've got it in my diary. So I used to go on twice a day. I used to go on at 10 a.m. and then 6 p.m. because I wanted to continue providing value. So I built my business and my brand internationally from doing those things. Number 2 is you want to deliver value every day. You don't want to come on with your hair disheveled, and I'm not saying you have to look perfect at all. I mean, you don't want to look like you just woke up out of bed and go hi without anything to say, right? We want to deliver value. What can you tell people? And sometimes you don't even recognize some of the value you have because we take the knowledge we have in our head for granted, which we'll talk about in a minute. You want to provide a call to action on every stream. You want to tell them what you want them to do so they can do it. You want to follow up on every contact. When people reach out, when they contact you on social media or through your email system, you want to make sure that you actually follow up. You also want to offer a sample to every person if you can. And that sample could be a physical product. It could be a phone call. It could be a white paper on the best ways to clean this, or the best ways to look or assess how solar is going to be great for you. But you want to give something to each person to show them that you're giving them value. You want to ask the right questions on every call. Every call, you're going to have questions. You want to dig a little deeper and see how you can deliver value to them. And then you want to ask for the order every time. And I know most of you here are probably absolute professional salespeople. But right now, when people get a little nervous about the economy and the way things are going, and it's being seen maybe as someone who's insensitive to the current issues. You don't want to be that person, so you get nervous. But it's not a bad thing to ask for the order. It's not a bad thing to say, hey, would you like to go ahead with the project? It's not a bad thing for you to try and complete the steps that you're doing. They've already spent the time with you. It's your job to ask them. And I know that you know that, but I just want to remind you, it's not insensitive to do this stuff right now, okay? So be consistent, right? We talked about number 1. My friends and people, they call me the queen of consistency. They say you can set your watch by what I'm doing on most days. That's just something I've done. It's not rigidity. It's consistency. I can switch my schedule. I can transition things. But in general, I do the same things on a daily basis. I have blocks of time. It's not mundane things, but it's being consistent, making sure I do phone calls, making sure I live stream, etc. Deliver value. The knowledge you have in your head, you often take for granted. You think, well, everybody knows that because you've grown up with it, or you're recognizing it because that's just what you do. Doesn't everybody know that? You probably have heard that before. Of course you know that. And people say, I didn't know. That's because we take our own knowledge for granted. I want to help you take that knowledge and convert it into cash. So keep a list as you're starting to think, I wonder what that is. I wonder what items would would change, what would change people's lives, what would change people's ideas of what needs to go on, right? You want to provide a call to action. Now, sometimes it's a freebie, an opt-in, a lead magnet. Sometimes it is follow me on social media. Sometimes it's going to my website, like I told you guys, vickyfitch.com/what? You got it right here, see? So just make sure that you go vickyfitch.com/one-stop. I'm giving you a call to action, but I'm providing value. At the other side of that, there's freebies there for you. There's opportunities for you to try out free software for some of the things that I do to try and make my live streams better. So I'm giving you value. All right. So in that call, that call to action, make it easy. There's a free course I told you about, the Rock That Stream course. Make it easy. Opt in, have instant delivery if you have access to these things. What is your area of expertise? And maybe you have an optional upgrade. Just like if you are doing service contracts for your solar and you guys are doing cleaning, or you are expanding things, when someone has it done for their house, but they didn't get it done for their pool, or there's additional things, make sure you have those things, those options available to them, and make it easy for people to make a choice to do that. Number 4 is you want to follow up. Rough diamonds may sometimes be mistaken for worthless pebbles. Have you ever had that happen? You've called people, you called them, and they didn't answer, and they're not calling you back, and you say, they're not interested. Well, that's not necessarily true. People are busy. I don't know about you, but I know I'm really busy. If you want my business, you're going to have to follow up until you reach me. It's not because I'm trying to make you do that. It just means that's the way life has gone. So follow-up is a really critical piece. I have a blog post called The $50,000 Phone Call, because I followed up with a customer for 2 years before I ended up with her business. So if you knew you were going to get a $50,000 or $100,000 or $200,000 sale, would you continue to follow up for 2 years? So think about that. What does it mean to you? Because following up is a critical part of any business, and most people stop way before they ever get the sale. So don't let that be you, right? And so when you follow up using an effective CRM, if you guys have one, then put that stuff together, because then you can make these things automated, and you can give them the opportunity to give you guys exactly what you need. Give them an opportunity to put together, an automated system, because high tech allows you to be high touch. And high touch is what we're all trying to be. Right now we have to be high touch at a distance, but that's what we're trying to do, is be high touch and give our customers the best value they can with the most, with us paying attention as much as we can. Okay, 5 is offer a sample. And we already talked about that. It might be a consultation. It might be a white paper. It might be, something that your company gives out. Number 6 is asking the right questions. And what are those? What do they want? What are their pain points? What are they experiencing? How can you serve them? Can you anticipate some of their future needs? What are their concerns? Because you're going to have to overcome their objections. And again, I recognize that most of you here are probably expert salespeople, but just being reminded that even though people are sensitive right now, they still need what you have. Solar is an amazing thing, being clean and green. And I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed, or if it's been in your country, wherever you're watching in from, but here in the United States, because we're not driving, the air is so clear. Here in California, we have a smog problem. It is true. And the air is so absolutely beautiful. Solar makes a difference, and you need to make sure they understand how important it is and what a difference that it makes, right? And the last one, number 7, is you have to ask for the order. And again, I know you are all doing this, but it's worth repeating. You have to ask for the order. Can you see value in us working together? Maybe some of you aren't in sales and you're in a different part of your business, and maybe you want to be in sales. Maybe you've thought about it before because there's great money there and there's a great opportunity for you to bless other people. But are you ready to get started? Is another question. Are you ready? I mean, it's a very simple question. Yes, I am, or no, I'm not. They're not insulting you or putting you down. You know, be prepared for the yes. This is one of my pet peeves, right? Is that so many people say that you should, that prepare for the no or go for 100 no's. I think that is a load of baloney, right? I mean, if you prepare for the no, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get it. So expect the yes. Expect people to look at your product and service and recognize its value. Practice your skills and being able to share that with people and finding out how you can deliver the best value, right? You want to follow these 7 steps, be consistent, deliver value every day, provide a call to action on every stream, follow up on every contact, offer a sample to every person, ask the right questions on every call, and ask for the order every time. Now, this is one of my favorite things as I just kind of wrap this up. You know, confidence is sexy. Outside appearance is simply the window dressing. So when you practice, you'll become better at whatever it is that you practice. And I would love to connect with you guys on social media. So if you take a screenshot of this, or you can go to my website, Vicky, VickyFitch.com. If you guys have a need for services, if you need help with some of this, we do have live streaming training, we have social media training, we even have a VA service where we can create content for you, because we want to add that to we want to add the social media piece so we can repurpose some of this stuff and get you some more traction for the time that you spend. I mean, you could literally do one 30-minute live stream and create 15 or 20 pieces of content out of it that you can post on different platforms and really get some amazing leverage out of it. So I would love for you guys, hopefully you took a screenshot of this so we can stay connected. And I think we're doing more of a Q&A portion at the end, if I understood correctly, Tim. I don't know if there were any questions now, but if you guys go to, VickyFitch.com/onestop, I have plenty more I would love to share with you guys, but I want to honor the time frames and make sure that the rest of the guest speakers come on. And so you guys let me know if you want me to answer some more questions or put in some more value for them there, because again, you guys, it's an amazing industry. I'm absolutely floored by how fantastic each and every one of you guys are. So I don't see Tim coming back on just yet. So you let me know, Tim, or I can, like I said, I can continue to, move on to other topics if you want me to.
Vicky, I'd just like to thank you. You inspired me. You gave me some value. So I'm sure if you gave me value, I hope that everyone else who's been watching got the value that you gave. I think there's some real nuggets there for not just inspiring people to get into live streaming and to use that tool to talk to customers, to reach out and get a connection and make a connection, but also just to sharpen their sales skills. So I really appreciated what you told us.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate being here. And if you guys need any help, let me know, and I will be back for the Q&A in a bit.
Fantastic. Really appreciate that, Vicky. Our next guest speaker, our gold partner, is Alva Zing from Green Deal, and she's going to be reaching out with some information about Green Deal and teaching us about that. So thank you, Alva.
Thank you, Tim. Good afternoon. My name is Alva from Green Deal. So Green Deal is not just a STC trading platform. So now we do more than that. So we will talk about the STC trading, key features, solar panel validation in the next slide. So we have over 20 people working in the IT department in-house and around 8 people operating locally. So that means we can quickly make any changes and updates in our system. So there are more advantages than that. So price, we have leading STC price, technology. We update our system regularly. So you can feel free to download the iOS and Android version and speed. So it will take less than 5 minutes for you to set up an account with us. And Tim, we have the real-time lecture on our website. So feel free to message us and we're going to reply back to you on the spot. So due to the social distancing measure brought in with the coronavirus, so we suggest to go to the no contact installation. First is take the paper out of the paperwork. So we suggest to download the Greendeal installer app to using the Greendeal retailer platform to reduce the chance of exposure to the virus. And second is electronic signature. Retailer and installer can send through the signature link to the homeowner to get their signature through the email or text message. Your installer and homeowner's house matters to us. So gain continued support from Greendeal. The Greendeal trading platform and app will remain fully functional. So even we are all work from home, but you can still call us landline. So it will redirect to our officer. You can also connect with us through the live chat and email. Trading is as usual. Our IT department will be available for SPV support. STC trading. So we have transparent pricing. There's no upfront fee or processing fee. And we have 2 payment modes, cash transfer or credit notes with our preferred supplier. And we have premium rate of commercial STC and battery system with PV. Market focus, 2020. So the 2020 small scale technology percentage, STP, is 24.4%. This means electricity retailers are required to surrender 42.6 million STC to meet their SREC obligation for 2020. This data includes a carryover supply of 5.9 million from 2019, 36.7 million STC, 705,770 STC per week are expected to be created in 2020. Assuming there's no changes to data, Greendeal predicts the pace of the solar installation to continue increasing through 2020, which should be reflecting in the 2020 STP calculation. The spot STC price fell slightly, as the obligated buyer might have mostly concluded their purchase prior to the surrender date, the 28th of April. So we will expecting the price to remain high. So Greendeal offering free of charge retailer portal and installer app. Installer app. Installer, you can use the app to scan the serial number, collect the owner's signature, and upload the installation image and complete the checklist as well. It can also work offline. All the information will be stored in the app and we will be re-uploaded later. Retailer platform. Retailer platform is a website-based platform. Retailer, you can customize installation checklist, send through the signature request to the owner. Greendeal will do automatically check of everything you provide, and you can also check STC application status and payment status. Key features. First one, application programming interface system. Greendeal developed a tool for your CRM system to export the data directly to Greendeal without manually typing in information. Instead of wasting your time to the menu and repetitive tasks, you can better focus on your business. Second, Greendeal help you to better manage your customer relationship. So the most important thing is to helping you to increase your sales by better understanding your customer and their needs. Your reputation will keep growing by understanding your customer. You can also using the system to analyzing their purchasing behavior and help you operate better in the future. And third, distributed energy resources are consumer-owned devices that generate, store the electricity. Those electricity can be fed back to the grid later. Installer, you can apply for the DER register phone through the installer app directly. So now we have a preview of the Greendeal DER register phone. DER registry phone is integrated in Greendeal installer app. There are two entry points. One is that installer checklist. The other one is that finished job pop-up windows. So there are two parts need to be filled in. The first one is DER installation details. Second one is connection and devices. So once the DER registry form is completed, submit the application to AMO through the Greendeal installer app directly. So now we talk about solar panel validation. Solar panel validation is a new trading process. It will allow the system to verify the serial number to prove its panel is genuine. And it will also record the GPS location by processing in the app. And it will boost the quicker process from the regulator, usually around 24 to 48 hours for 6.6 kilowatt job. So there are several benefits that you can get from solar panel validation. The homeowner, they know they are getting genuine panels that meets Australian standard and come with a stated warranty. Second, installer, installing the right panels. Third, it will lower the risk of the fraud to the agent. Fourth, it will protect the retailer from the financial penalty and reputational damage. So now we talk about the Spv procedure. Retailer can turn on the Spv function in the setting and set it as default. Retailer create the STC job and fill in the basic information such as owner's detail, systems information, and assign to the specific installer. Installer, open the app on site and make sure the Spv function is turned on for the job. Then scanning the serial number on site and verify them through the system. Installer, complete the installation checklist by providing the on-site images. Follow with click on panel install and choose the correct installation completion date to finalize the job. So this is pretty much I'm talking about today. I hope that it will give you some idea about what is STC trading, how it will be helping you for your business. And please feel free to contact us through 0733871810 and also message us to stc@greendeal.com.au. If you have more information, want to know more information, you can go to our website, www.greendeal.com.au.
Fantastic, Alva. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Really appreciate that. Now, if you release your screen, that's perfect. Thank you. We're at the panel discussion part of the event. So what I wanted to do was just get a sense of how you guys are coping with COVID. Are you working from home? How is that? Yeah, just, I guess, give us a sense of what your life is under this new conditions, under these new conditions. So, Alva, maybe you can start.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Tim. So the COVID-19, so the whole team, we work from home. So we still connect with our customer. So our customer can call our landline. It will redirect to our officer, so we can still helping them to solving the problem. And also we will email back to them, and also they will connect with us through the live chat. So every single way they can get through to us. We will still doing the conference phone call and meeting through the Zoom. So we keep doing that at the moment.
Okay, good. So clearly this is the new norm, and we're all getting a bit more used to it. And I think what we learned from Vicky today was how to really ramp that up and maybe turn that into almost a sales platform for us. So I think that was an innovation. So Vicky, perhaps in California, you're working from home, which I know you do a lot of. So do you want to jump in and share with us what it's been like for you? I know you're a mum, so you're probably at home with family as well.
I am. And that has honestly been the toughest part, is because now all of a sudden my routine, which I told you about before, the consistency, now I have all these other people underfoot. And so it makes things a little different. Plus, you know, I still have a high schooler. So, you know, we have to do homeschool basically online, but checking the work and making sure, because he graduates this year. So it's a little different that he's not having his prom and he doesn't have, you know, they're going to be doing a Zoom graduation. And I thought, okay, well, at least they're doing something, you know, that
A Zoom graduation. Wow. That's...
So yeah, so it's different, but I've always worked, pretty much most of my life I've worked from home, so it works for me, and I've been trying to help other people. That's when I shared about those skills, teach other people how to put that into action, because it can be a little bit tricky when the laundry's calling you and the dishes are calling you, and you know, and the kids are calling you. You have to really kind of get yourself structured if you want to flourish during a difficult time.
Fantastic. Betty, how are you traveling? What's it been like for you working in from home and connecting, because you obviously connect a lot more with China?
Yeah, yes, we do have a 2-hour difference with China. So right now they are lunchtime. So usually I only go to my lunch when China is in their lunch break. But other than that, to work from home is excellent. I can spend time with my family. I have 2 French bulldogs, spend lots of time with them. So excellent. And I got a very good management. So we contact with each other probably every day, a couple of times. And only thing is we would like to see customer face to face. Also, like your marketing team, I prefer to meet you or Didi, see how's our future co-marketing plans. Yeah.
That would be lovely. We could do that.
Hi, Didi. I think we all should give Didi a little round of applause. She's often in the background. She makes a lot of this happen, keeps all the comms going, and she's just been an awesome help in getting all of these events up and running. So a little applause for Didi. Thank you.
Didi.
Chad, how's it going for you? You're selling. How are you selling? What's the best way that you're finding to connect with customers?
The best way that we found is really to go direct to the decision makers and to develop the relationships with them. So with everything slowing down, we generally work in the commercial space. So we've seen that those large scale decisions start to slow down. So we've decided to actually ramp up the number of people that we're actually engaging with, because we know a decision's unlikely to be made now, but we can start to develop a trusting relationship in the interim. And then when things start to settle back down, they already know us, they know our brand, they know what we're going to do, and they've gone through their internal decision-making process to go on with us.
Fantastic. And how about you, Alan? I think I'll make you the last person to jump in. How has it been working for you?
Yes, obviously we have to cancel all the business trip after the lockdown, and even though I had the very warm welcome from Rick in WA. So, but luckily, and for SAG, we shipped out almost 10 megawatt inverters before Christmas, so we don't have stock issues in Australia. And also for our inverters, we have the remote service ability. 90% of the inverter problems can be sorted out remotely from our portal. So you can see our sales volume still increase in this market downturn.
Fantastic. Well, your presentation is next, so I'll leave you on screen, and perhaps if you want to share your screen and begin your presentation, we're fascinated to hear how business is going for you guys. So.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me here, and then thanks for One Stop to organizing this webinar to help us stay connected while we are stay at home. And our heart goes to all those who suffered from COVID-19. So today I'm going to talk about SAJ supply and marketing tips in the COVID-19 climate. So firstly about SAJ, the background of SAJ. So we founded in 2005. We have been almost in the business for almost 16 years. And we have been in Australian market for almost 80 years. Headquartered in Guangzhou, about 1,500 employees. Local sales and support team in Australia. Till last year, our global installation has been over 7 gigawatts, and we were also being ranked one of the global top 10 residential inverter supply by IHS Markit. So this is the history of Stage. Founded in 2005, we started from the frequency inverter business. In 2011, we released the first generation of our grid tied inverters, and we came to Australian market from 2013. In 2015, we released our second generation of our grid tied inverters in Australian market. We also became one of the public listed company in China. So in 2016, we expand our production capacity to 7 gigawatts by setting up another factory in Jiangxi province. So till 2017, our global installation had been over 5 gigawatts, and then we have about 24% residential market share in China. So that's why we were also being ranked one of the global top 10 residential inverter supply by IHS Markit. So last year, we delivered about 5,400 storage inverters in Australian market, which is about 25% residential storage market share. And we also set up the office and warehouse in Melbourne last year. So firstly, I would like to talk about the global impact on the inverter supply chain due to COVID-19. So if we want to understand the inverter supply chain, firstly, we need to know where the components inside the inverters from. So for SAJ inverters, we have thousands of components inside. If we open the front cover of SAJ inverters, you will find that we use all the components are from the world leading supplier. For example, we use the capacitor from Panasonic and Nippon in Japan. We use the IGBT from Infernum and Fairchild in Europe and America. We use the power controllers from Texas Instruments and National Semiconductors in America as well. So for the inverters, it has thousands of components inside, and these components are from more than 150 different suppliers from Europe, Asia, and American. And these suppliers are located in more than 20 different countries. So what I want to say is that the inverter supply chain is much more complex than any other solar product. So for Australian market, I think 80% of the solar panels and 50% of the residential inverters are imported from Asia. Most of them are from China. And these 50% of the residential inverters in Australia are designed and developed in China, but the components are sourced from worldwide, from USA, from Asia, from Europe. We assemble and test these components in our China factory, warehousing them in Asia, Europe, and Australia, and Latin America, and distributed to more than 180 different countries. So due to the COVID-19, we can expect a longer leading time, a components leading time than last year. COVID-19 has obviously have the obvious impact on the price, especially the currency depreciation in Australian dollars. So we know that one-stop warehouse is still holding the price for our customers. But if the currency depreciation continues or the Australian dollars cannot come back, we can definitely see the price increase of the solar products in Australian dollars. Also, COVID-19 has slowed down the installation and caused the project delays globally. This put the downward pressure on the on the price of the solar product. So we can, especially I hear that the production capacity from China this year is about 240 gigawatts. Given the global demand is about 120 or 130 gigawatts, we can expect the price drop in the long term in US dollars. So how can we ensure the continuation of the inverter supply? So firstly, we need to work closely with our customers, one-stop warehouse, to do the forecast. All the SAJ inverters in the market today are based on the forecast back to 3 or 6 months ago. However, forecast can never be accurate. we need to monitor the stock movements on the weekly basis and adjust the forecast accordingly and timely. Thirdly, we need to also work closely with our suppliers in this difficult time to maintain the strong relationship and to ensure the strong mutual support. Last, we need to maintain the reasonable buffer stock in our factories or in our warehouses, overseas warehouses. So for SAG, we have the warehouse in Europe, in China, in Australia, and in Latin America. So even in this COVID-19 climate, SAG is still targeting to increase our shipment to Australian market from 300% to 400% this year. How can we achieve this? So firstly, SAG have a wide product range. So we offer the inverters from commercial inverters to residential inverters to commercial inverters and storage inverters. For storage inverters, we have single phase and three-phase storage inverters. We also have AC coupled solutions. Secondly, we have the innovative products. So this February, we just released the 5th generation of our rooftop solar inverter technology. R5 means the 5th generation of our rooftop inverter technology. It ranges from 0.7 kilowatt to 20 kilowatt. I have 4 inverter platforms. So the first 2 are the single phase one, and the second 2 are the 3-phase one. So for the R5 series, we can offer the smart meter for the export control and the load consumption monitoring. So the load consumption monitoring to help the customer size the battery if the customer want to retrofit the system to be a storage one in the future. Also, for the R5 series, they all comes with the die casting modeling with the bad heat dispatching performance. There's no power reduction up to 60 degrees. With its updated power components and top load, R5 also comes with a high efficiency. So for example, for the single phase one, they comes with 98.3 efficiency. 3-phase one, 98.8 efficiency. They also comes with a 12.5 amps DC input current, which is perfectly for the bifacial modules. Lower start and stop voltage, longer working time. As we are practicing the social distancing, how can we service our customer? So our online monitoring platform enables us to service the customer remotely. For all the R5 series, they all comes with the Wi-Fi dongle. So, however, I think from our experience, most of our hotline phone calls is about Wi-Fi. So for SAG, we are going to replace the Wi-Fi dongle with the 4G dongle, probably in the next few months, plus data plan. So for SAG R5 inverters, they comes with a plug and play monitoring with 4G dongle. Also, screen is one of the most vulnerable parts in the inverters. For SAG inverters, we comes with a plug and play screen on the Wi-Fi dongle, so easy for maintenance. For SAG, once you connect the inverters to our portal, we can remotely monitor the inverters, and we can remotely change the settings or update the firmware for the inverters. We can also have the error alarm and error alarm follow-up functions. So we can service the customers remotely with SAG inverters. Also, SAG has launched the online marketing strategies to approach our customers. These including the Facebook design, Instagram, Google, LinkedIn, organic SEO. All these online marketing campaigns not only expand our exposure in the social media, but also generate leads from the end users. We will share these leads under our partner program. That means SAG is investing to generate the business for our customers. So quality and service are always paramount for SAG. So for SAG, we have set up the Australia-wide service network. Our service hotline running at 7/24. We have the warehouse warranty backup stock. Our warranty has extended from 5 years to 5+5 years. for single phase. All our products are covered by the world #1 insurance company for the third-party liability. We have the local warehouse in Australia as well, and local technical support from the project investment, construction, and commission. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, this is my contact details. Please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. Really appreciated that. And I learned how to say SAJ instead of SARS, so I apologise for that. I will forever continue to call it SAJ. Our next guest is Chad Hardy from Snowater. Chad is going to be teaching us about sales, so looking forward to that. Chad, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm just gonna make sure I've got everything up that I need to. There we go. Thank you very much, Tim. Really loved all the presentations so far today. They've been absolutely fantastic. I did really want to comment on Vicky's. Vicky, I love the stuff that you talked about. It's exactly the same things that we do, and I thought it was absolutely great. Now, what we'll be doing and what we'll be focusing on, where Vicky talked a lot about converting clients, I'm going to be talking a fair bit about offline engagement, particularly with relationships, and then leveraging them into referrals. So my name is Chad Hardy, and I'm the founder of Snowater. We're going to be talking about putting a bit of the person back in personal selling. About Snowater, we are a behind-the-meter PPA, so power purchase agreement provider, and a technology platform. In this current market, in the solar market, we are a job provider. We make the installation of solar power systems possible for rented commercial, industrial, and residential premises. I'd be happy to get into further details about that if anybody has questions, but I'd really love to dive into this presentation. So my goal is to provide you with a couple of models to implement into your business if you already don't have them underway. All right. Now, as I said, we'll be looking to put the person back into personal sales. We're going to come at this from two different levels, because I know in the audience we have sole traders who are the installers who are going out and doing the hands-on work, and then we've got the larger scale commercial solar retailers. So I'm going to try to see if I can strike a nice balance between the two to see if we can introduce some of the same programs at each levels of those businesses. What we're first off going to jump into is a bit of a self-assessment, assessing where you currently are in the business marketplace. And then we're going to dive into the offline engagement and how to build some of these programs in and around your business and what you guys are doing. So I've got a little chart here. What we're showcasing is two different things. It's the interest in your products and your client's willingness to buy right now. So we've got 4 zones, right? And everybody who's watching this, if you've got an interest in your P&L, or at the simplest level, if you're keen on making enough money to stay afloat to outlast the coronavirus, this stuff is super, super important to take a high level strategy look at what you're currently doing. So we've got these 4 boxes. Now you have to ask yourself, what is currently happening? Right now, we know in the industry, we've seen a drop off of about 50% of installs have now just disappeared. So people are hurting a bit, but that's not to say that all the work has dried up, and it's not to say that clients aren't interested. Now, you will have certain clients who are interested in exactly what we're providing, the fantastic benefits of clean solar, fantastic cash savings on their power bills, but they might not be buying right now. So they will sit up in this top left corner where the long play is. They're fantastic clients. They've made their decision. They like you, they like what you're doing, and they like the product you're selling. They just aren't ready to buy right now. Now, right beside that, we've got Easy Street. This is fantastic. This is where you've got clients who are interested in the product that you have, and they're actually going through that buying process with you. Now, if we split that to 2 different levels for the commercial retailers and the installers, you guys, we're very much on the same level. We need to have continual deal flow. We need new clients continuing to buy our products so we can move it on to roofs. Right? This is very important. This is one of the things that we're going to be focusing on in terms of leveraging referrals to benefit the business. For the commercial level, if you have clients buying, that's fantastic, but you need to make sure that you continue to have those clients buying your products. Because if you have clients buying your products, but they start to lose interest, you start to get into a short play, which is the bottom right. You've got clients who are buying your products and they're paying now, But what you're seeing is you don't have many people coming into your sales funnel. So that means right now, in this month, you're fine. And maybe next month you're okay. But the month after that, the month after that, you are prospectively seeing issues with the business. Now, on that bottom left corner, this is the danger zone. This is where people aren't currently interested in the product and people aren't buying what you're selling. Now, this is very problematic, and this is literally the danger zone. That's why it's titled that. Now, you need to push, pivot, and fight as hard as you can to get out of this corner, right? You need to take stock of what you're doing and find a way to make sure you have that cash flow coming in to support yourself and to support your business. Now, because we work in a space that does a lot of one-off jobs, you need to make sure that you're doing the one-off jobs correct, right? You're doing high quality work, you're building a strong brand, and you're actually building very strong relationships with those clients. And when you have a relationship with that client, you can put the question to ask them about referrals, and you can also leverage the word of mouth that they will then spread around because they love the work that you're doing. And it's also on you to work very hard to develop those relationships and to encourage people to spread that word of mouth and to provide you with the referrals. Now, we're going to jump down, and if we're looking at that top left, you've got fantastic clients who are interested, but they're not buying, right? That's still good. You know, if they've got interest, what you need to do is to continue to focus on them. If they're interested now, they're going to be interested in the future when they're ready to buy. So as long as you maintain a warm connection with them, they perceive you in a great light, you don't do anything to poison the relationship or burn a bridge, you're actually in a fantastic position. These people may also be available to recommend you to other people who actually might be in a position to make a purchase at this time, right? It's all about how you present yourself and present your brand and present your business. Now, if you've taken the time to look at where you currently are on this chart, you can also probably think of a couple clients that you have who sit in each of those little areas, right? This is key. You really want to focus on the people who are interested and that are buying now. You can't ignore the people who are in that long play bucket and the people who are in the short play as well. So you have to keep moving the whole business forward at one time. So keep that in mind and think about how the next couple of strategies you talk about work with this. So in terms of marketing, we know we've got online and we've got offline. There's those two different spaces. They are very different, but there's so many similar elements. But today we're just going to focus on offline. Now, within marketing, you always have your paid spend and your free or organic. So we're actually going to ignore paid for right now because billboards and letter drops and circulars are fantastic. You know, you can put as much as you want on Netflix and on the radio and TV. But right now, we're going to be focusing on the direct contact and building strong relationships with people. And the three main areas that we're going to be looking at is developing the top of your client funnel by looking at your client book, proximate people, and referrals. Now, the reason why we're focusing on this is primarily because these are opportunities that currently exist for you in the existing environment offline. So if you think about yourself and think of your circles of influence, you have your client list, your client book, right? That's everybody that you've ever had contact with for the business. And if you've done a good job in setting up your business, you'll have that list at hand, right? And ready to be leveraged. This includes your successful clients. This includes clients that you approached but never converted, right? And this includes people who are still sitting in that funnel that are interested but haven't yet come through for you. Right? As we step down to the next level, the proximate people, these are people within your immediate personal and social circles and also physically close to you. So neighbors and existing relationships that you can look to see and to tap into to develop certain flows of work. And then from there, we're going to tie it together and talk about how you can leverage your personal and professional referrals. Now, these are amazing buckets, right? I talk about them buckets in terms of how you can use these people as clients and develop your flow and that process of clients coming through. So jumping into your client book, you have a massive list of people. If you've been operating for any length of time, you should have developed a substantial list of clients who have contacted you, right? Not only that, do you have clients, but you also have people up the supply chain. For Snowater, we have our clients that we install for, but we also have our suppliers. So you've got one-stop warehouse. You might have people doing your particular inverters that you love, that sales rep, those guys doing the panels that your clients absolutely rave about. These are important relationships as well. All right, so if you've had contact with someone, you have a relationship with them. right? These are super, super important given the current environment that we're in. Now, every business, especially the clean energy business, we've got a sales cycle, right? People come in, right? They're a prospective client. We walk them through the process. We get them informed. They then make the decision that they then want to purchase. Okay? Now, the people in your sales cycle generally aren't limited to time. Sometimes when people decline to proceed with a purchase, they can't make a decision. It's because they're actually busy. But sometimes they lack the mental space to make a decision, and so they have to put it on the back burner. And sometimes they actually don't have the money to make that decision now. And that's all right. These kind of things happen in those sales environments. As long as you don't burn that bridge or poison the relationship, these people are still a valid prospect in your client book, right? I loved Vicky's story, so I do want to highlight that. That was a great example when she talked about the $100,000 client that took 2 years to develop. It's an amazing story, and those things do happen. Imagine if after 1 week of calling and developing that relationship with the client that Vicky just said, no, I'm done. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to work, and she just left them. Unfortunately, that's $100,000 in your pocket that has just evaporated. And the amount of time that you need to curate those relationships is actually relatively small. All you need to do is generally pick up the phone. Now, when you look at your client book, you're probably looking at that top little line, which showcases everybody that you're currently engaged with, that you're trying to take from a prospective client into a purchasing client, or who is a purchasing client that you're now just finishing the install, and then once that's done, you're good. But remember, all those other people are still there. So you've got the opportunity to open that client book, to pick up the phone and have a conversation with them. Now, that's the important bit, is to actually pick up the phone. Right? Obviously, we're talking offline, so we're not talking about emails and CRM campaigns. What we're talking about is developing that person-to-person relationship with someone. Right? These phone calls, they take 5 minutes. All you need to do is pick up the phone, look at your list, right? Pick the people who you've recently had contact with, and they might have just fallen outside of your little sales bucket that says, oh, I'm really likely to convert them. Just pick up the phone and give them a call. You're not looking to do a direct sell, not a hard sell, not a push. What you're looking to do is to develop the relationship with them, have the conversation, see where they're at. Because the main question is, do you know what their current needs are? Are they now in a position to make a decision that they weren't in a number of weeks or months ago? Has their situation drastically changed? Maybe they'd had a death in the family, maybe something wasn't going right, and now maybe everything has resolved itself. So that's an opportunity for you to just say hi, right? Let them know that they are front of mind for you. You get to make them feel special, right? And then reciprocally, you get to feel special as well, which is an amazing thing. When a client thinks that you are looking out for them, that you care, you've actually demonstrated there that you are going above and beyond with that professional level of service and an amazing level of courtesy, right? And everyone loves to feel special. So as simple as that, when was the last time you picked up the phone? Right? Have a think about that. Think about a client that you would really like, that you would wanted to close for ages. It never happened, and it has just fallen away. When was the last time you talked to them? What we've been doing is we've been reaching out to everybody in our network, picking up the phone, giving them a call, touching base, just like Tim was asking before. How are you doing with COVID? How is business going? We've talked to certain suppliers and they're up 120%. It's fantastic. But we've got others who are down 50%. So it's important to have an understanding of where they're at. Right? Opening those channels of communication, they build those relationships. And then when people come to them and ask and say, I need advice as to who's doing this kind of work, you're going to be front of mind. So be sure to open those channels of communication. And at the same time, you'll have a strong understanding of exactly what they want and when they want it. And don't be afraid to go back further in your book, right? Just like professional relationships. So if we're talking about the commercial retailers, you might have a business contact that you haven't talked to in 6, 10, 12 months, maybe 2 years. There's nothing wrong with getting in touch with them. You've got LinkedIn, you've got email, but a phone call, 5 minutes, how you doing? How's the family? Where are you guys at? How's the business? That's super key in a trying time like this. Show them that you are thinking of them and that you care. This then takes them from a current prospective client who's churned and they're at the back of mind to someone who now has you at front of mind. right? This is key because when they're thinking of you, they're going to be talking about you. Now, proximate people. If you're thinking about where you are and what you're doing, and you're struggling to develop business, you've thought about your client book, you've gone through all the people who you have talked to, all the people who you haven't been able to convert, and you're trying to think of how to generate new leads, well, just look around you. If you're isolated and stuck at home, just look out your front door, right? Look at your own house. Have you had a sip of the Kool-Aid? Have you done the solar installation on your own house? Are you proud to represent your own brand and the products that you're selling? If you are, you should be then confident to go out and talk to your neighbors. Ask them, why don't they have solar? Or if they have solar, why do they love it? Give them that fantastic opportunity to talk about something they spent a fair bit of money on and that they should be passionate about. Right? They've supported the economy. They've made a fantastic, clean, green energy purchase. Right? They're saving a whole bunch of money, right? And they're doing the right thing. And it's easy for you to talk about because you are an expert in this space. So by having that conversation with a neighbor, right, you then open the door to ask, if you love it so much, do you know anybody who needs it? Because I'm a professional solar installer, right? This is what I do. Work slowed down a little bit, but I'm here. We've got all the product. As you saw, One Stop has a warehouse full of inverters and full of panels, right? The equipment's there. You just have to find the right people who are keen. Now, those proximate relationships, those neighbors, they know you, right? You live across the road, you live down the street, right? That's a fantastic opportunity. It's easy to get a hold of you. It's easy to talk. Now, think about your colleagues, the people that you've worked with in a professional context, right? Other installers, the suppliers at your local shop, right? People who've helped you out on little projects. Right? Have you touched base with them? Do you know what they're doing? Do you know if they know anybody who's got any extra work coming in? Now expand that to your friends and family network. Your friends, do they all know what you do? Right? Do you know what they're doing? Are you helping to develop those fantastic friendships, build them stronger, and also try to develop work? Right? Also talk to your family. If you stand behind the work that you're doing and you're using quality parts, right? You're doing a quality job. It's the opportunity for you to, again, work with your family, give them the opportunity to cut down on their power bills, right? And for you to continue to develop that chain of work. So those proximate relationships, the people around you, right? If you're scared and you're thinking, I don't have business coming in, who can I talk to? Like, use your networks, use the people who are closest to you, right? Have those positive and open conversations with them. Because what happens when you start going through that client book and you start talking to the people around you, even if they don't want what you're currently selling, they might know someone who does. Right? And they might know someone who does want it in the future. And they also might want it in the future. So these people can provide you with referrals. And now referrals are the absolute best source for high quality, low cost customers. Now the reason is because someone else has put social credit on the line. If you've gotten referred off of a job that you've done 2 months ago, that person's going to say that, John has done a fantastic job. I love what he's done. Everything was done to an extremely professional standard. The quality of the parts was, immaculate. Right? We love it. Can't say anything better than John, right? You should use him. That to you is gold. You haven't had to spend $1 to acquire that customer, right? All you have to do is put it to them, right? Help your current clients understand that referrals are a way that you generate business, right? If you've done a good job by them, if you've cultivated a strong relationship with the customers that you have, who you do your installs for or who you sell products to, right? They are much more likely to then refer you onto their network. So this requires you to take an active role every time you're doing a job, right? To develop trust, to maintain a strong brand, and to build a strong relationship. Right? By doing these things, you set yourself up on a platform for success. But the thing you have to do, and again, I'll shout back to Vicky's presentation, which was great. You have to do the ask. You have to ask someone if they're willing to refer you, right? There's the economic exchange. You've done the install and they hand you money, and that's great. But use that soft touch. Ask them how much they like their system. Ask them how passionate they are about it. When they get excited about it, you've seen and you can see that you've had a positive impact on them. So put the question to them. Ask them if they know anybody now or anybody in the future who might want a solar system. They might waffle, And they might say, oh, you know, maybe we'll look at it later. But, you know, put it to them again. People are really willing to take that extra step for someone who has earned their trust. And if you've earned their trust, right, they'll open up their network to you and they'll pass you on to people that they know. Now, this is really, it's easy to understand that in the framework of a sole installer. But at that commercial level, if you have developed relationships with everybody who you supply, those people will also be willing to refer you on to other people in their network. So if you are, let's say, the sales associate for South Australia, right, have you put the question to your installers? Like, have you asked them to refer other installers to you? If you're doing good by them and they're doing good work and they understand and they like you, right, you've got an opportunity to increase your area of influence, right? But I can't emphasize enough that you always, always, always actually have to ask, right? If you put the ask out there, you are much, much more likely to have a positive return come in, right, and get an active referral. Now, those are all things that you kind of have to do a little bit of push, and you have to make it either it'll come naturally or you have to put a little bit of momentum behind it. If you really want to start cooking with, I guess the saying is cooking with gasoline, is add incentives, right? Now, incentives are very key, but you have to do it in a very smart way. What you want to do is you want to incentivize not existing behavior, not something that's already happening. You want to incentivize a behavior and outcome that you want, right? And incentives are great things, right? It's a great economic approach to improving your business. Things as simple as a discount on the next piece of work you do for them or on that recent invoice, a direct cash payment, or doing a giveaway of one of the products that you have. What you can do with this is you encourage your current customer base or historic customer base, right, to engage in referrals, right? And as a result, you'll give them that incentive, right? The biggest things for this, two main takeaways with incentives are working on these principled bases. One, I always recommend pay for success. So always pay when you've closed that next account, right? That way, when you've landed that referral, you've converted it to another sale, you can pass that fantastic cash on to the person who's helped you get there. And then you've got a new client who you can then help push forwards as well. And second, so number one, always make sure you're paying for success. And two, the big thing is incentivize the outcomes that you want, right? Don't incentivize behaviors that already exist. So as you go through this, it's a very good process to start to get comfortable with. Because when you start to say to people, hey, I'll give you, $200 if you can refer me on to someone and I do a solar install for them, that's a fantastic bit of money. And if they're looking at putting that against their power bills, right? Well, that and the solar system you just installed, they've had fantastic savings. At the commercial level, by encouraging installers to bring more business in your door, you're able to give them bigger discounts on the equipment that they're installing, which helps them to improve their margin, right? That's a fantastic opportunity. And we all know that we are all here to earn money, provide a great service with high quality products, and to help people build a cleaner, greener world. So it's very important that you do it in the right way to encourage the positive aspects of this behavior. Now, as you can see on the right-hand side, I've got that cheeky little image which says, refer a friend, earn some money, and repeat. That's key. You always want to be consistent in your approach to working with referrals and building these relationships. When you start to work on your business rather than work in your business, you're going to see that your momentum starts to pick up. Because every strong relationship that you build, that person is going to go refer you to a couple of their friends. And those couple of friends refer to a couple of friends, and it goes on and on and on. This way, you actually start to cut out your paid advertising channels. You can really leverage your referrals. By adding in incentives, you really start to accelerate the impact of that referral program that you're starting to run. For us here at Snowater, we do a couple of fun things. We like to work closely with our installers to make sure that we give them the best jobs and great commissions. But also, we know that right now, everyone's hurting. So we've done a bit of a fun giveaway. So we've just launched a program today where we are actually giving away a home solar power system to one lucky family. Relatively simple. What we're doing is it's a free solar system, including install, because we know that our installers are starting to see a downtick in business. Our suppliers are seeing that same downtick. We want to start doing some more active cash injections into the environment so we start spinning the economy back up and supporting our local installers and our local suppliers. So what we're doing is that free system giveaway, relatively simple. We just want to engage with people and say, you know, how would this have a positive impact on your life? So we're running it as a fun little contest. These are easy, small, and simple things you can do to push that brand, to develop trust, and to continue to develop and facilitate those relationships in a very positive way. Now, I think that's about me, other than just a short, quick recap, which is everyone knows we've got the sales cycle, right? You've got steps 1 through 6, where you start off with a lead and you get to the point of closing that sale. But if you're not focusing on generating referrals and closing that loop to start the system all over again, right, you're not doing enough, right? Referrals, again, are the cheapest, easiest, and quickest ways to develop new sales and new business, right? Make sure you're working hard in developing strong brands, strong relationships, so you can ask and generate those referrals, all right? Tim, I think that's actually about me. I think I'm a little bit early, but I'm happy for you to jump in and take back over if you'd like.
Thanks, Chad. I really, really appreciated your talk, and especially I think the challenge that I've heard from you, and I certainly heard from Vicky as well, was that to be brave and ask. I'm looking a little squash there, maybe, but be brave and ask for the sale. Be brave and ask for the referral. So actually, it's okay, I think, at the moment to say, my business might be struggling a little bit. Can you help me? Can you get the word out? Can you share the success I had building your install or doing your install, and then sharing that out and getting people to refer you? So yeah, it's okay to say at the moment, can you help me? And can you spread the word? So I certainly heard that. Also, that competition sounds awesome. So that's if you go to snowater.com/giveaway, you'll get some more detail about that there. So thank you for that. Our next presentation is coming from Isaac Liu from Discover Energy. He's going to be talking about solar security. So Isaac, please feel free to jump in. G'day, how are you going?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. Isaac, feel free to grab the screen. Well done. That's exactly what we want, and we'll pass it to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, team. Hi, everybody. My name is Isaac Liu from Discover Energy. I'm the engineering manager responsible for the IT and system architect. Today, my topic is about survive from one type of a cyber attack, that is email. Before we start, let's take a look at the chart. This is the chart I grabbed yesterday from ACCC's Scam Watch website, which basically is a summary about the scams reported to Scam Watch in the first 3 months of 2020. They have received 36 scam reports, 14% of them associated with the financial loss. And so far, there are $36 million has been given to the scammers. And in March only, the Australian lost $15 million to the scams. By looking into the types and the sources of all those scams, obviously, many of them are come from internet and cyber attack. And among them, email becomes a big source of the starting point. Let's take a look at another number to say why the email is so popular. Because email is important in today's online business. And according to Campaign Monitor's report, and there are about $125 billion emails delivered every day. And if you are similar to me, you should expect to receive 120 emails in average. So through the hackers view the email as a central point to break into your personal information, break into your organization. They are targeting to do those phishing attack and try to send you virus, try to spam you, try to steal your identity. Why do they try to get your identity? The identity theft try to get access to your private information like bank account, your password, your credit card, and your contact. Basically everything that you has access to, they want to get hold of the access. The types of identity theft, including phishing, that is they trick you to a false website, lead you to disclose your critical information, or they hacking into your computer or your server, or they maybe even just give you a quick call and try to trick you to giving up your remote access to your computer. Or they just send you some scam email which contains virus and ransomware. If you accidentally click into that, they will install some virus onto your computer to monitor what you do and sending up your data to them, or even just like a ransom, they lock down your computer asking you to give them some cash or Bitcoin transfer. Now let's take a look at the phishing email. Does anybody has received a phishing email today? Well, if you are similar like me, I took a look at my spam folder this morning. Gmail has a feature that will delete all the spam email older than 30 days. But in past 30 days, in my spam folder, there are already over 500 spam email there. According to Virgin's 2019 data breach report, there are 32% of cyber attacks starting from a phishing email. Actually, if you pay attention to, it's not that hard to spot a phishing email to a normal email. If you look into the phishing email normally with some characteristics which comes from with a fake email address that you don't know, you have no idea where they comes from. You didn't think you have a right context to exchange information with them. So if you receive some strange emails, that should be a first alert in the mind. Then the second, the phishing email normally contains some attachment like a PDF or executable. Many of those contains virus. They try to trick you to just click and open or install. The other common problem of those spam email is probably they use some terms too generic, too vague, because they don't know your specific information yet. So they have to put it more generic, normally not written in a very business terms. They contains a lot of grammar error. And the email contains some urgency terms, try to trick you to do a quick action. Also, the email contains a lot of links. And if you hover to the links, it's not links to the business, a proper business site that you recognize. It's some strange numbers or a very strange URL. If you saw that, be alerted that might be a spam email try to phishing. So if you are alerted from an email that you don't know, from somebody that you don't know, and this is another case, that the email from somebody that you know, you think you know at least. This is what I get directly from that Scam Watch website. They have a real life story. The reason I captured this bit is because I heard a real life case last week. It is exactly the same scenario. The problem is the scammer, the hacker, somehow get access into your system, into your computer or into your email account. Then they screen your emails, business email, and find your exchange with one of your suppliers. Then they will pretend to send you, your supplier send you an email, tell you that their bank account has changed, and asking you to pay the follow-up payment to the new bank account number. Well, eventually, you probably will not realize that until you get called from the supplier asking you why that you didn't pay for last one or couple of payments. Actually, this kind of a spam is, you have the way to detect it earlier. Usually the sender, the spoofer email, although their sender name looks like someone that you know, but they cannot from a trusted IP address, the server. So the email most likely will be filtered into the spam folder by your email service provider like Google or Microsoft. If you see an email that you know get into the spam folder, that is the first alarming signal that you should be aware of. Then second, if you look into the bank account detail, you will obviously see the account name is not a proper business name there. Usually that go to your personal name or a very strange name, makeup name. So if you saw those, and then that make you alerted, don't do before you make payment, better to double check and find the way, even write back the email to double confirm or pick up the phone to confirm that you are doing the right thing. Now the email is scary, but there's actually many simple ways that can be useful for us to prevent the problem from happening. The first thing is you need to familiarize yourself regularly with those common phishing patterns. Although we all think we know about those things because many of those sounds like common sense, but sometimes people make mistakes. We just ignore the alarm. So regular review these common patterns, probably from the Scam Watch or from some friends that can help you keep alerted. Number two is I had strong password. I know strong password is hard to remember, but it is helpful. At least try to avoid use some simple numbers, some password like ABC 1234, or using your birthday, using your name as password, or using your phone number, etc. The expert suggests a strong password should have at least the digits, some special character, and some capital character and lowercase characters. Number 3 is try, if possible, try to turn on two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication means you not only need a password to get into your email account or your system. When you log in, after you input the password, you will receive an authentication code on another device. Usually it's your phone. You need to provide the authentication code that you received. Combined with the password, you are able to get into the system. Well, this is maybe bringing a little bit inconvenience, but it is valuable because if your password was leaked accidentally to another people, was scammed by the hacker, and even they have the password, they cannot get into your system because they don't have access to your phone, so they don't know that authentication code. And the fourth thing is very important, is never turn your spam filter off. The email service provider like Google and Microsoft, they have a very powerful spam detection algorithm. Although many of the times, they may have the chance to have false positive. But please don't turn the spam filter off because of that. Because even they have some false positive, they give you a second chance to double check the content that you received is really from the party that you trust, and it's from your business partner to avoid an unnecessary loss. I also recommend you run virus scans regularly, at least probably in monthly basis, because you don't know, you have no idea when or which website that you visited or which link you clicked might already installed some bad software on your computer. So it's worthwhile to do some virus scan regularly to make sure that your computer is clean. And the last point, for keep your system safe, you are not the only point. Everybody in your organization, the weakest one will be the point. Because once the hacker get into one entry, what they need is only one entry. Once they get into one entry, they will use that account to forward, to spread the virus, to send a trick email to others. So it's important to continually educate all the people in the organization, keep awareness and keep alerted. So this is what we do from our own email client. But the other side, what we can do is to hardening our email server. Well, this was used to protect who receiving email from us, to stop the scammers to spoof, to pretend to be a sender from our organization. The simple things that you can turn on, the first one is SPF, which basically is to tell the email server which IP address is trustable as a sender for your organization's email. You only trust few servers. In this way, if others try, even they pretend to be your email, but the mail server, the spam detector will able to tell that it's not coming from the trustable IP address. They will throw that to the spam folder. Another thing you can turn on is called DKIM, Domain Case Identified Mail. This is a little bit different compared to SPF. This one actually will place a digital signature to your email, to every email that your organization sends. And when the the other party received the email, they will check the digital signature to confirm that the email is really signed and sent from your organization instead of others. The third thing called DMARC, domain-based message authentication, reporting and conformance. This one is basically built on top of the SPF and DKIM and provide some policies to let the other far end, the receiver side, to decide what to do when there is one factor field, like SPF field or DKIM field, what they should do, whether they should still trust that email. This is maybe sound hard and complex, but it is not really something really hard. It's actually some fairly straightforward setup and should be able to get it done quickly. If you are not sure whether your organization's email service has this turned on, I would advise that you had a quick chat with your IT staff or your IT consultant and to get this turned on. Probably spend in just half an hour. Then you will get your server secured and actually protect whoever receiving email from you. I think this is all for today from me. Thank you for your time. Tim?
Thanks, Isaac. I really appreciated that. It's always good to be alert with these things, and it's so easy to click a button or click an email to think, oh, what is that? And then suddenly you're down a rabbit hole that you didn't want to enter. So
Yeah, that's right.
It's always good to be reminded that it's better to be aware and alert that there's people who want to take your money, which is scary. The other thing, especially seeing we're talking about live streaming, is social engineering, that people will ask you questions like, what's your children's name, or what's your first pet's name, or what's your first car you ever drove, because often people will use those things to build their passwords around. And if people forget that that's what their password was built around, a kid's name or a birth date, that often that's an easy access, and all it took was a polite question while you were live streaming or something, and you've forgotten that you've actually given away some personal information that could have been attached to your password.
That's right. That's right. You're right.
So it's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah.
So your explanation of how we should create passwords was really useful as well. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Our last person we're going to meet today is Albert. Smart, and Albert is from Victoria. He's an account manager for One Stop Warehouse. He's just going to do a little wrap up about One Stop, and then I'm going to do a little wrap up on the event and just thank everybody. So thank you, Albert. Please feel free to jump in.
Thank you very much, Tim. And thanks to everyone for tuning in today. It's a fantastic turnout. So we really do appreciate your engagement with us through this very unusual time, working from home. Some of you, I'm sure, working, trying to do sales and process everything without any face-to-face interaction is certainly challenging, at least I know for myself. But I'd just like to go through a couple of slides, very short and sweet from our end here. So I'm just going to bring up my presentation just quickly. So that should have come up. So that looks better. All right, sorry, I need to go back a couple of slides. So as you obviously know, One Stop Warehouse is our company. So I'd just like to run through on this page here. So just a bit of an overview from us. So we've been around for about 8 years. We just had our 8th birthday. So we're very, very proud to have such a long and fun and enjoyable and successful career in Australia as a company. So The main reason for this slide really is just to show that we're growing, we have been growing, and we certainly, probably more than anyone else, need to thank yourselves for that. So we couldn't do it without you. We're here with you to support you, and in turn you guys are supporting us and helping us to grow. And it's all getting towards the same goals that we, I'm sure, share with our customers to move this country and the world closer towards a more sustainable future. So thanks very much for that. So just a quick overview: 135 employees, and we're growing. We're hiring more soon. 6 offices, and we've got 15 warehouses and over 1 million, gigawatt of energy shipped. So we are in the #1 in Australia as well. So moving along. The questions we'd been getting a couple of months ago especially was, are we open? Are we open? As we started to, some of us work from home and the restrictions hit, of course there was some impact to our operations. So landlines, for example, may have been slower to pick up than usual, and I think there was a general concern that we may have been closing or were already closed, but certainly we have remained open, we will remain open, and we're certainly here. So just bear with us. If you do have a bit of trouble getting a hold ever, just feel free to shoot through an email or try one of your account managers on their mobile or send them a text. I'm sure they'll come back to you as quickly as possible. And second question, people asking what's happening with the stock. So there had been some delays, yes, earlier in the year when China did completely lock down. But truth be told, we've had good stock for quite a while now, and we certainly do have a lot of the popular brands that you guys like to install, that your customers are looking for, and we keep adding to this as well. So special mention there because Betty's in this, and also a premium sponsor, Longi Panels. The new Longi 370 has just arrived. So some of you may have seen an email about that, but it's quite an exciting panel that we're very proud to be offering. So it is available, at least in Victoria. Just check anyone who's interstate. If your local account manager can confirm they've got the stock, they should do, but certainly have a chat to them about that. Moving along, as some of you might have seen the video at the beginning of this presentation with Tim running through one of our offices and warehouses. So we are working responsibly. So we are taking the recommendation of governments very seriously. So we will be enforcing social distancing. We will be providing hand sanitizer for ourselves and for our visitors. There's a sign-in registry. So just when you are in our office or in our warehouse picking up, we do just ask if possible to try and be considerate of the situation that we're all in and try and be safe as well. So we'll try and be safe for yourselves and safe for our staff as well. So just we want to say that we do take it seriously, so we hope that you will too, but it's a very unusual time and we're all in this together. I'd just like to touch on this. I mentioned we're hiring, just to really reinforce that we're very much committed to this community, this big shift in the global need to have sustainable energy. We want to keep growing, we want to keep pushing towards getting to that end goal. So we're hiring, we're holding our price, we've got strong and secure supply, and we offer direct delivery, some of you would already know, and we will continue on this digital front to offer more value to you guys. So whether it be training or whether it be webinars like this and other things, we just want to stay in contact and try and support yourselves and each other through this and into the future. A couple of awards we've because of our growth and because of your continued support, we've had a couple of awards and recognition over the years, and then just to finally touch on, we just did have another mention in the Financial Times. So we were listed there in 2020 for one of the high growth companies in Asia Pacific. So thank you very much for your time. It's been a fantastic presentation. Thanks to everyone involved. I'll pass back to Tim, who I think may wrap up from here, but thanks very much, everyone.
Tim, you're on mute.
Thank you. We've come to an end of a 4-week epic webinar series. We've heard from marketers from across the globe. We've heard from specialists in both technology, and we've heard from our amazing suppliers who've given us real insights into their product, into how they're coping with COVID as a company, how they're coping personally as employees of those companies. And it's just been really fascinating to see us as an industry be able to gather together and to share this information, to support each other as we go through this, both on a business level and on a personal level. So it's it's just been a really exciting time, I think, for us to be able to share this information with you. So I thank you for that. I thank our partners, our platinum partners, especially Huawei, Sungrow, and Longi Solar and FEMA, and also to all the many gold partners. All of their contributions, all of their presentations, and they've made donations are all going to help the hospitals, as we've said. So I'm very excited to be able to support the nurses and the carers and the doctors who are all on the front lines of this COVID crisis. Finally, just thank you to One Stop Warehouse for their support of us in this. So really, just thank you, everybody. We're going to wrap it up now. We normally finish off with a beer o'clock, which means that we switch off recording and we give people an opportunity. If they want to try out live streaming, if they want to try out getting on Zoom and getting on camera and just sharing their experience at the moment, we'll keep the room open for a little while. We'll stop recording and we'll go from there. So thank you for that. Thanks, everybody. And we'll call it a day.